So my name is Matthew Pollard, but I'm known in the market as the Rapid Growth Guy. Predominantly what I do is I help organizations, large and small, obtain rapid growth within their business. A lot of businesses find business really hard. They find getting customers hard, and they think they have to be unbelievable salespeople to get their business to grow. What I tend to find is if you start with sales, you've already lost. And what I do is I outline a 3-step process that when you get to sales, sales is easy because your customers want what you have to offer as opposed to you trying to drag them into your products and services. So I work predominantly with my Rapid Growth Intensive, which is a 3-step program that help people understand what their unified and differentiated message is, what their specific niche markets are, and how to create a sales system that brings customers to them, and also gives them the skill sets, the sales script, and create a experience for someone so that person wants to buy from them. But I only work with people for a very short engagement. Really, it's only 6 hours because for me, a lot of people are very good at what they do. The problem they have is they just can't get the customers excited because they struggle to communicate what they do to a consumer. And what I do is I help them make that easy and congruent with who they are as a person. Accidental more than anything. I was an introverted kid with a reading speed of a 6th grader that had to figure out how to sell because I lost my job just before Christmas. And I really just had to, I went scrambling to figure this out. And then what I realized was what I was doing in sales was a complete sales system. And that's why I was effective, because if you didn't learn, I taught myself on YouTube, but if you didn't learn the sales system, you were going to have a bad day. So I beat the naturals at selling even on my bad days because I had my great system. Now, on top of that, what I then realized is that I was actually differentiating and selling to niches almost, well, accidentally, because it just seemed logical for me. And I thought it was logical to everyone. Well, truth is it's not logical to everyone, and that's why I now go about teaching people that. What I also realized a lot of times, and I used to get rapid growth for everybody, and then they'd come back and they'd be like, oh, well, I've got rapid growth, but I hate working with these customers. So now I make sure and I really focus in on goals because I spent a long time working that out for myself. If you've got a rapid growth business, but it's not aligned with what your goals are or your sense of self, you're going to end up 3 years from now hating yourself for doing it. So that's why I built 5 multi-million-dollar businesses from the ground up before I found one that was aligned with who I was. And that was because I wasn't aligned with who I was, and I had to work that out. So when people talk about entrepreneurial survival stories, they talk about the fact that they were almost out of money and then all of a sudden things changed. For me, my entrepreneurial survival story is I was in late high school, and I'm talking like I was 18 years old. I had a reading speed of a 6th grader. I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. And I'd had a conversation with my father that if I had gone to university right at that point, I wouldn't have known. I would have spun out. I got really good scores in my my high school year. But if I had to go and do another 4 years of education, I wouldn't have made it through. So I went and got a job at a real estate agent to hide away for a year. And then all of a sudden that place went bankrupt just before Christmas and I had to find a job quick. The only job I could find was commission-only sales. The only trouble was I struggled to speak to my own friends, let alone walk door to door. So I had to figure out how to sell, and I used YouTube to teach me that. Within a period of about 6 weeks of using YouTube and systemizing the process, using a logical process rather than a gift of the gab process like people assume you have to have, I became the number 1 salesperson for the largest sales and marketing company in the Southern Hemisphere. I'm Matthew Pollard, and I will survive.